Hello, I'm Paul Glue, a student nurse from Western Sydney University. How are you going?
Oh, hello, Paul. I'm well, thanks. And you?
Oh, good. I'm here to assess just your general health status, and I need to ask you a few questions about your nutritional habits, your daily routine, etc. Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
And is it okay if I record or note down this information while we're talking?
Yes, that's fine.
Just give me a moment. I'll quickly look through my notes here. Okay, let's begin by getting your personal details. Could you please tell me your full name and your date of birth?
I'm Sophie Springer and my date of birth is the 17th of January 1954.
Thank you. Would you like me to call you by your first name or your surname?
Sophie's fine.
Okay, Sophie. Could you tell me what your address is?
Yes, my address is 78 Blackmore Avenue, Yellowstone.
So I'll just check that. That's 78 Blackmore, is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Avenue. And what was the suburb again?
Yellowstone.
Yellowstone. Oh, good. Thank you. Sophie, this health assessment might take about 15 minutes. Are you right with the seat that you've got?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make a start then. Are there any particular health concerns that have brought you here today?
No, I've been generally well, but I've come in for my annual health check. I do this every year.
Okay, good. So I'll just check with you as well. Do you have any allergies?
Not that I know of.
Okay, good. Well, look, it's really good to have a regular health check. Let's talk a little bit more about your background. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine. Well, I come from a mixed cultural background. My mother was a Torres Strait Islander and my father was Italian. Unfortunately, both of them passed away 2 years ago.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. How are you feeling about that now?
I'm okay today. I'm going okay. It has taken some adjusting to not having them there though.
Can I ask if you're single, married, or have a partner?
I'm divorced.
Ah, and how do you feel about what's happened?
I think I'm coping. I've got good friends. I go out with them to the club to play bingo. You know, keep my mind occupied. And I have a lot of support from my daughter.
Has your divorce affected you in any way?
Well, I guess a bit financially. I've had to move in with my daughter. She's 28 and she has 2 children. One's 11 and one's 9. And we all live together in a 2-bedroom rented flat near the city centre.
Oh, look, that's good. Support's very important. And so how do you find your accommodation? You're all living there together.
Well, you know, we manage, but I do say there's a lack of privacy and it's a bit small. I would like to be able to get away sometimes from the grandchildren, but being in the 2-bedroom flat with the 4 of us, I find that's a bit difficult.
Sophie, can I ask, have you ever had any major health problems?
No, thankfully I've been pretty good. In fact, I'm more active than my relatives and friends.
What about your employment then? What kind of work do you do?
I work as a teacher's aide in a primary school. That keeps me on my toes. Added to this, I look after my grandchildren when my daughter goes to TAFE in the evening. She's studying accountancy.
That sounds like you're a very busy grandmother.
Difficult keeping up with the little kids.
Oh, absolutely. Sophie, from your readings and the vital signs that we've got recorded, I just noticed that your blood pressure is slightly elevated. Do you know what your blood pressure is usually?
No, I don't have any idea. Should I get it checked more often?
Look, it would be a good idea for you just to see the GP to follow up blood pressure, you know, as well as check your heart rate and to have some regular checkups. I recommend that you make an appointment with the GP in the coming week just to follow these up. Is that okay?
Yes, that's a good idea. I don't often go to see a doctor unless I feel unwell.
Hmm. Sophie, could we discuss your diet? What meals do you have and what do you eat and drink during a typical day?
Yes, that's fine. Well, I usually skip breakfast.
So why do you skip breakfast?
I leave very early for work and I don't have time to eat.
Oh, I see. So, look, not eating breakfast because you start early, I understand. Is that what you mean?
Yes, that's right.
What other meals do you have during the day?
I have two other meals, lunch and dinner. I like eating a pie for lunch and takeaway foods such as fish and chips for dinner.
Oh, I see. So if it's takeaway food, are you aware that it's often cooked in saturated fat, which means that can affect your health as well as your heart?
Yes, I know that. But I just don't seem to have time to cook.
Mm. Are you open to some suggestions on ways that you might be able to eat more healthily?
Definitely.
So it is possible that your blood pressure, for example, could be related to diet. And so I understand that you buy takeaway food because you're quite busy. However, I recommend that you also think about ordering things such as salad or cooked vegetables, meat, rather than things such as battered fish or fried chips.
I've never really thought about that.
Hmm. Now, look, for instance, most restaurants have salad on the menu, and eating a salad, for example, is a good way of adding vegetables and even fruit to your diet. Salads, for example, are high in fibre and antioxidants, and they're all really good for your body.
You know, I'm going to include salads as part of my diet.
Great. The other thing is breakfast, for example, is quite an important meal of the day. How about keeping some fruit such as apple, banana in the car with you that you can munch on as you drive to work? That way at least you'd be getting something light for breakfast.
Oh gosh, that's a good idea. I'd never thought of that. Yeah, good idea.
Look, it's important to eat well. As you know, an unhealthy diet can lead to a range of things such as obesity and other health issues. So, yeah, definitely fruit, ordering some salad, and seeing if you can avoid some of the takeaway foods that are cooked in saturated fats. That would be a really good idea. How about you try and see how you go with that for about 2 weeks or so?
I can certainly do that.
Okay. Sophie, can I ask you, have you ever smoked before?
Yes, I smoke about 15 cigarettes a day, and I've done this for 30 years now. Sometimes I smoke more when I go out with my friends.
I see. Have you ever tried to reduce or give up smoking?
Yes, many times, as I know it's really bad for my health, but I just don't have the willpower.
Mm. As you indicated, cigarette smoking can be dangerous for your health, and certainly according to the National Cancer Institute, smoking is one of the main causes of premature death in Australia. It actually increases risks of things such as a stroke or lung cancer. So I highly recommend that you reduce or give up smoking. Would you like some information on how to quit smoking?
Yes, please.
Okay, well, look, at the end of the interview, I can give you some brochures, and these are about things such as the New South Wales Quit Line and the I Quit website. Quitline, for example, is a confidential phone service, so you can talk with them about your situation, and they'll be able to give you some free resources such as nicotine patches and chewing gum. And the I Can Quit website also provides some support services and gives you some interactive information about people who've been able to give up smoking and the journey they've been on.
These services sound really helpful. As I need support to give up smoking, I will give Quitline a call and take it from there.
Oh, excellent. Look, moving on now. Are you a social drinker?
No, I don't drink when I go out with my friends. However, I enjoy having red wine almost every night with my evening meal.
I see. How much do you usually drink?
Let me see. 5 to 8 standard drinks an evening, I think.
How does that make you feel?
Very sleepy, but relaxed at the same time, but not so good in the mornings.
Are you aware that a standard drink actually contains about 10 grams of alcohol? So according to the national guidelines, they recommend no more than 2 standard drinks on any day, particularly for women. That's because alcohol consumption can affect your liver, cause high blood pressure, heart disease, and also increase risks such as that of cancer.
I love my wine, and I don't want to stop that. But what can I do to reduce my alcohol intake?
Well, look, the National Health and Medical Research Council actually suggests that choosing drinks with a lower alcohol content and also drinking slowly are possible ways to reduce consumption. Some people alternate. They have a soft drink or soda water in between. What do you think about these strategies?
I'd like to remain healthy, so I'll try these strategies. They sound simple enough to follow.
That's right. Eating well, drinking sparingly, and being active are actually really important for a healthy lifestyle. So tell me, Sophie, what sort of physical activities do you do?
Well, recently I started yoga and Tai Chi classes.
Oh, good on you. Regular exercise can really help with weight control and boost your energy. So I really encourage you to continue exercising. It would be good if you could spend at least 2.5 hours on physical activity each week. It will help you to relax as well. Do you do any other physical activity?
I spend a lot of time with my grandchildren, and I take them for long walks to the local park and playground. I also take them to the beach in summer. But I must admit, I often get sunburnt because I don't use sunscreen.
Oh, I see. It would be good for you to use sunscreen because it actually helps to minimise the effect of the ultraviolet or UV radiation. It'll help protect your skin from damage and from things such as skin cancers and melanoma.
I never thought of wearing sunscreen because I grew up without wearing a hat or sunblock. But I get what you're saying. I will take hats and some sunscreen for me and the kids next time we are out.
Oh, good. Can I just ask you briefly about your cultural background? You said you come from a Torres Strait Island and Italian background.
Yeah.
Great. Do you keep in touch with your extended family?
All the time. I'm very family orientated and I meet up with my relatives on weekends for lunch and even at church meetings sometimes.
Oh, that's great. And how do you find that your spirituality and beliefs actually help you?
I go to church every week, and coming from an islander background, I also maintain close connections to the land and sea.
Look, those connections are very helpful and will certainly provide you with the encouragement and support that's really useful during this time. So, look, thank you, Sophie. That brings us to the end of the assessment. I've noted down the information that we've discussed. I recommend that you try the strategies that we've discussed for a couple of weeks. And would you like to come back in about 2 weeks' time and have a follow-up appointment? And we can assess and see how your health's going.
Actually, I don't have any questions. I'm right now.
Okay, great. Well, would you like to come back in 2 weeks' time and we can see how you're going?
Sounds good. See you then.
Okay, thanks, Sophie.
Thank you, Paul.